Hey Matt, I'm making the video because I don't want to get into a shouting match when it's not really a shouting match on Facebook. Because I love you, man. Who loves you, buddy? I do. Um, but where I was going with the whole victim thing is when I think of when I say that conservatives are wanting to be victims all the time. So one example is the guns. It's all right. So they're trying to take our guns. They're trying to repeal the Second Amendment, but there's nothing that proves that. That's what I mean by shadow boxing. Because it's not a topic, and if it is a topic, it's not a topic that will ever happen. Uh, I love the Second Amendment. I don't ever see it going away. I know that there are extremists who want to maybe take away guns, but I've never heard anything about it. Universal background checks, I'm for that. I'm pro gun and I'm pro universal background check. If you've committed, uh, crimes like, armed robbery or, domestic violence, you should not own a weapon. I wouldn't trust somebody like that to have a weapon. If I were like that, I wouldn't want to have a weapon. Um, the other thing of wanting to be a victim would be, oh, they're taking God out of the schools, right? They're trying to take my religion away, and that's another example of being a victim. Nobody's doing that. The God is not being removed from schools. They're not taking God out of the Pledge of Allegiance. That isn't happening. That's a farce. That has never happened, and I don't think it's ever going to. Uh, that's shadow boxing. You're fighting a battle that's not even happening. Another one would be, people who, like, it bothers them to see that there's a gay pride. It's Pride Week. Well, how come there's not straight pride? Well, there you are being a victim again, right? Like, oh, I'm a victim because there's no straight pride, rally. Well, straight is the norm, right? And so having pride in being gay would be like proud of being the minority, right? I'm proud of who I am. I'm going to celebrate it. We're the minority. We're strong. This is how we show it. So there's no need for any of us, like, straight people to have something like that because it's the norm. It's the day to day, man. It's something that's been around forever. I think homosexuality has too. I just think people have been too afraid, to be open about it and be okay with who they are. Another example of being a victim is, well, how come only Black lives matter and not all lives? It's like, all right, well, all lives do matter. Everybody knows that. The Black Lives Matter thing is a deal because government employees aren't gunning down as many white people as they are people of color. So yeah, that's an injustice that needs to be stopped. Is everybody saying all cops are bad? Absolutely not. I have friends that are cops. I have brothers who are I served with that are police officers and sheriffs, and I would never see them or imagine them ever doing anything like that. Uh, I saw how they performed overseas, and upstanding, men, very brave men, and I can't see them doing anything like that. So I know all cops aren't like that. So to me, that's the whole wanting to be a victim, right? Like, how come they don't stand for our flag? Well, if somebody's going to protest what's going on out in the street of government employees killing Americans, that should be protested. And in my opinion, the people who serve the troops, uh, their job is to uphold the Constitution, and the First Amendment is freedom, freedom of speech, freedom of expression, things of that nature. So I support it. I mean, that's what everybody fights for, right? To have the freedoms. We're all supposed to be American, and we're supposed to be about freedom. So stop being a victim. Just support more freedom. That's all we need is more freedom, not less freedoms. We need more freedoms. So I just feel like conservatives play the victims a lot, and it's it's getting old. But I'm tired of crybaby liberals, in the same manner, man. But yeah, I feel like there's more victim. I'm a victim on the right than there is the left, and I'm a Republican, and I feel comfortable saying that. I'm uncomfortable with affiliating with people on the far right because that's not who I am. And I think they're extremists and they're racists and they're white nationalists and they're against freedom. Because if it's not something that they support, it shouldn't be a freedom. They want to dictate how we live our lives, and I'm not okay with it.